Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Okay, so I'm back. The name of the play, this is Tuskegee Repertory Theater, Incorporated, TRT. Booker T's Towns. Here's the program, right here. And one of the statements that was made close to the end was, I'm probably going to quote it wrong, but I got the idea of it. If you haven't been through any trials and tribulations or struggles or whatever, at the end of that is where we gain our success. It's almost like you've got to go through some things in order to achieve that dream or that goal or success in life. You got to go through some things. And I took that statement and applied it also to my life. Because, and let me say this, Ms. Dyann said that we need to remember to write about our stories, because this is our history. And the history of the Booker T Towns is telling us the story, the history from times before. So it is our history that teaches us and gives us wisdom in how to move and how to react in the future, and to understand the things that are important. And I think that that's probably the reason why I've operated the way I've operated in my life. She was the beginning of me learning something about self-pride, black pride, and what have you. Come to think of it, I don't remember anyone other than her at that age teaching me about my black history. I learned that in a ballet class under Miss Dyann Robinson. She is the only one that I can think of. There was another person later that I met in my life, but none as effective and made much of an impression on my life than those things that I learned from Miss Dyann Robinson. So every time I go back there, it's almost like I must give her honor and respect, because it was her life and her determination to write, and she's encouraging us to write about our lives now, because these are the things that we go through. We all have stories to tell, and so when we do this, it is a part of passing history on down to the next generation. This is very important. And some of the values that I have and have been trying to do, and things that I've even done, even when I bought the theater and created the theater in Jackson, Alabama, that was a part of my wanting to acquire something so that I could pass to the next generation. And that was my vision. And until we think like that, I'm thinking that this is why we are so lost. We're creating history right now. And even when I bought that place, the building that I was in before had a history behind it. The theater that I bought has a history behind it of racial tension and racism, where blacks could not enter in through the port where the whites could enter. We had to go up these stairs, and in my building, are those stairways there. But once owned by the white man, now it's owned by this black man. Okay, I did not build it, but what I did was change the inside. I took that which our ancestors had no access to. Now the ancestors have owns these things. Now, what do we do with it? If we don't respect the things that we have already and have already obtained, and we don't understand what our foreparents fought for with their lives for me to be able to even have such. Now, what am I going to do with it? I spent most of my life working on this, and it's really sad that we go back to a town like Tuskegee and you see the work that has been done there to create such a place, but then to see it go down, because somewhere the next generation was not taught to respect those things that your foreparents have already accomplished. Stand on the shoulders of those things. Not that you have to go off and forget this place, but carry it on, build it, and make it a place where you return to remember that this is a legacy, a history of pride. You know, when someone tries to devalue me, all I go back and do is think about where I came from, even if it's what I had to deal with in my own life. So the person that you see here today have already gone through struggles, already gone through some things that makes me understand that just Jackson would say, I am somebody. You know, when we look back at our history and see where we have come from and what we had to go through, and then where we are today, this should give us much pride and much legacy and history that we can pass down to our children. If they respect you, then they will honor these things to keep these things alive, even in our grandchildren and our grandchildren to come. Well, now, with that statement that she made then at the end, close to the end of her presentation, which was very rewarding to me, when I saw the movie, Michael Jackson's movie, and I saw how the father, Mr. Jackson, was so determined to deliver his family from poverty and from all of the, I don't know whether I got the impression that he worked in mines, or maybe he worked in a metal industry or whatever, but it was hard work. And he did not see himself doing this the rest of his life. So he looked at what he had. He looked at the value of what he had. I did the same thing. I looked at the value of what I have. You know, I had to cast down my bucket. She used that term also in her presentation, that you cast down your bucket where you are, what you already have, and you build from there. And so with me, from the first day I ever gave a play and had to costume it, I got those things right out there in my shop. From the beginning, costumes that I made 40 years ago, more than 40 years ago, that I've created. I still got them. And I use them over and over and over and over. She's using costumes and the playwrights, and remembering the things that she's already done, that the people who helped her get started, they're gone. And the same thing with me, where I got started. A lot of those people are gone. But I am that arrow that's been shot into the future to carry the message on. So when we fail to embrace our history, it is very hard for you to be able to, if we don't do that as a people, we lose our pride, we lose our history, we lose the understanding of how did we get here. And someone has lived and maybe died so that you could be here. So we should not be taking for granted and overlooking all the things that went on before, as though is. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.